What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Ron 2's Motivation and Conversation, where I am your host, Ron Lyles. Yes, sir. And it's my job to make you think and motivate you to keep you going, growing, and flowing into a life of a better and more improved you. And wherever you're listening to me from in the world today, I say to you, hello. Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about climbing the mountain. All right. We're going to deal with that because some of us have mountains in our life. Some of us have different things that may represent a mountain in our life. And it's up to us to climb it, to get through it, to get over it, to get to the top. Okay. So we're going to deal with that for the next few minutes, climbing the mountain. Listen, I would love to have you all become a part of my social media family. So if you look in the description below, you can find all of my social media information there. Please follow me. I would love to have you all become a part of my social media fam. Yes. And so let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about it. Climbing the mountain. So what we come to understand and know about mountains is mountains are often beautiful to look at. God has blessed me and afforded me the opportunity through my gift and my singing and my ministry, preaching as well. God has afforded me opportunities to be able to travel all across this country. And I've seen some of the most beautiful landscapes. I've flown, I've driven cars, and I've seen beautiful mountains. I've seen them. But there comes a point, and there's also a time where there's a difference between looking at a beautiful mountain and actually having to climb that mountain. The mountain looks beautiful to spectators. Let's put it like that. The mountain looks beautiful to those who are spectating, but the mountain can be intimidating to those who are climbing it. Yeah, so it's cool, it's beautiful to look at, you know. Ooh, you googly eyes over the mountain. You get googly eyes, you look at it, you see it, okay, that's cool. But it's a different ball game when you're the person at the bottom of that mountain looking up, having to climb it. For those of you out there that are mountain climbers, more power to you. Because you have to have a certain level of discipline, a certain level of nerve, a certain level of confidence, a certain level of boldness. Yes, because mountains can bring about fear. It can pull fear out of people, especially those who are in the midst of it or those who are climbing the mountain. So you have to be bold. You have to be fearless. You know, you have to possess those qualities to be able to climb the mountain. And so you have those, we call it spectators, who see the mountain. They know the mountain, man, it's beautiful. And then you have climbers or participators, or those who are involved in actually going through this mountain, climbing this mountain. And they're experiencing all of the pitfalls and the emotions that come with trying to get to the top or get to a higher place, you know, above ground. And so I believe we as people, we need to understand that the mountains in our lives and the situations that represents mountains in our lives, we have to understand and know that we do have the ability to climb them. We do have the ability to climb them. We do have the ability to go to higher heights. We do have the ability to go to greater places, but we have to get over that initial fear. Let's talk about that for a second, because like I said, if you're driving by a mountain, okay, great. It looks amazing. It looks awesome. But to somebody who's climbing, the intimidating factor could be, wow, this is a long way up, or I have a long way to go. And so the deeper you get into it, or the further along that you go, and it seems like nothing is happening. It seems like no matter how far you go, no matter how much you dig, no matter how far you climb, it seems like you'll never get to that point. You'll never reach the top. You'll never reach the pinnacle. And that can be intimidating. That can make people literally want to quit. How many people literally faced issues in your own life where it seemed like no matter how far along you got, no matter how far it seemed like you were coming, no matter how many steps, how many strides you were making, it just seemed like you could never get there. You could never get there. And so ultimately it made you want to quit. It frustrated you. It made you get to a place where literally you felt like, listen, it's profiting me nothing to keep going. So why don't I just turn around and go back? Why don't I just turn around and quit? And Joel Osteen actually talked about this in his book, You Are Closer Than You Think. He talked about a time where he went on a mountain hike and he got further and further up the mountain, and it just seemed like the top was nowhere in view, nowhere in sight. And so he talked about how he began to get a little frustrated, and he had taken a break, and he just kind of sat down on the side, or just took a load off. And he talked about this man. He said it was almost like he was an angel, but he came down from the area where Joel was trying to go up. And he said the man had a smile on his face, and the man was just encouraging him to let him know, listen, you're closer than you think. And he said it was something about that man that spoke that into him. And he said when he spoke it, he said it was like an extra jolt of energy. And he said when he spoke it, he said he rose up, he kind of collected himself and gathered himself. And then he went up the mountain and realized that he was actually a lot further along than what he thought. And had he quit, he would have never even reached the top. He did reach the top, but had he quit, he would have never reached the top in the manner that he did. He was actually closer to the top than he was the bottom. It would have took him longer to get back down the mountain than it would have to get to the top, which was his ultimate end goal. He wanted to reach the top. He wanted to stand there and say that he had indeed climbed the mountain. And so many of you in your life, a lot of you are literally going through a mountain experience right now. Even as you're listening to this audio segment, you're going through a mountain experience even now. And some of you feel like quitting. Some of you feel like turning around. Some of you feel like giving it up. Some of you feel like throwing in a towel. But you cannot quit. You cannot stop. You cannot throw in a towel. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You can't do it and expect to climb the mountain. You can't do it and expect to mature. It's a part of your maturation process to climb the mountain. Yeah, it's a part of it. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it stings. Yeah, it's frustrating. It can be boring. It can be tedious. It can be meticulous. But once you get to the top and realize everything that you've accomplished, or all of the things that set you up for where you are along the way, you will have a greater appreciation for the process of the climb. A lot of people want things given to them. And so when it's constantly giving, you don't appreciate the process of having to obtain or having to earn your way. One thing about a mountain climber, can't nobody give them the top. They have to earn their way to the top. They have to walk their way. They have to climb their way to the top. And once they get it, then they feel accomplished because they know that this wasn't something that somebody else could do for them, but it was something that they could only do themselves, And so you need to be strengthened. You need to be encouraged in your situations, in your life. You need to know that you can climb the mountain indeed. You can be strong. You can get through. Okay, you can go through and you can climb. You can climb. You can reach. You can climb. It's okay. It's okay. Some people feel like it's not okay to reach for things. It's not okay. Some of you are worried about intimidating friends or frustrating friends or making friends jealous. If they feel any of those three emotions because you're reaching, then they're not your friend, period. They're not family. They're not friends. Anyone that gets mad at you improving and reaching for your goals and reaching for your dreams and becoming a better version of you, anybody who tries to stunt that or stand in the way of that, then you might need to reevaluate some things. You might need to reevaluate some things. Because if they're a brother, if they're a friend, they're not going to stand there and try to use their emotions as a tool to get you to quit climbing the mountain. To use jealousy and envy as a tool to get you to stop climbing the mountain, getting to a higher height in your life. So you have to really understand and know that you are closer than you think. You're closer than you think. What's the point of all this? To let you know that you can climb the mountain. You are indeed closer than you think. Some of you feel like you are so far off when yet you are so close. And if you let go of the rope now, guess what? It's going to be a long way down. When you could have just kept going just a few more feet. When you could have just stayed tight for just a little bit longer. Then you would have found yourself right where you needed to be. So I just want the listeners out there, those that are listening, those that are listening by, computer, phone, tablet, wherever you're listening from, you need to know this. You need to know that you can climb. You can climb. You have the strength. You have the ability to climb the mountain. Get up there and climb it. You are closer than you think. Get up there and climb it. Every obstacle in your life, you have the ability to get through. You have the ability to climb. You have the ability to get over. You have the ability to make it to the top, but it lies within you. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody can make the decision for you. Nobody can call the shot for you. You have to do this for yourself. And you have to understand and know that if God be for you, he's more than the world against you. And if he's with you, you definitely can climb the mountain. Okay? Listen, I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love all y'all. So you be encouraged. You stay encouraged. And know that even if the mountain looks intimidating, that once you begin to go through the process of climbing, you'll be closer to your end goal. All right? I look forward to talking and speaking with you on another segment of Ron 2's Motivation and Conversation with me, Ron Lyles. I look forward to speaking to you all again soon.